Hello, welcome to Day One Patch Podcast, episode 241. I'm your host, Ryan Johnson, Marty Isaacs.
Oh, I was going to do an Adriano Petty impression there.
Let's hear it.
No, I don't want to. He's listening.
Does he even have a catchphrase? Does he have anything memorable you could quote? I don't think so.
What's that thing he always says when he bursts into a room?
He says something when he bursts into a room?
He's always bursting in a room.
Does he burst into rooms?
Oh, yeah.
It's just like a muscle memory now. I don't even really acknowledge it, I guess.
It's Petty time.
His voice is distinctive, but it's not. I can't replicate it. You know what I mean?
Time for petty cash.
I'm going to work on it. I'll come back here next
Right.
time. And
Am I really quiet over there, Ryan? You didn't mic check me.
I didn't delete the rest of the podcast from last week either, apparently. We'll just record right over that. That's fine.
Am I too quiet, though?
Nothing's changed. You should be fine.
Look how small my wave is.
Are you sure that's not me?
Who is that? We're all looking at this
Marty's
screen.
in two. Marty's the quietest.
You're quiet, Marty. What are you doing?
I'm always pretty
Well, I
quiet.
can just turn it up. Hang on.
You're yelling at me right now.
Yeah, I know. Marty!
Who?
Wait, doing a friggin' live sound check.
1, 2.
You're supposed to do it live
Test,
with my
test,
frickin'
2.
things down there because it doesn't fit on my desk.
You need a bigger desk.
This is bigger than what I had before.
That's massive, too.
Word on the street too is that Apple's new professional monitor is going to be an ultra wide, so it's gonna be real big, just real big.
You're going to buy an ultra-wide monitor?
If that's what Apple sells, yeah.
It's too big.
That'd be all right, though, eh? I wouldn't mind that.
Apparently, a lot of editors are using ultra wide displays now too because the timeline you can see more of the timeline.
Right.
So
I'm really against those people that put it vertical as well. Like
that's bad. That's real bad.
That's for coders, though. Yeah, so you can see more code on the screen. So you put it up and down like portrait. But I always complain. I'm like, that logo doesn't turn, so therefore that was not designed for this.
That was the best part about the original PS3. The
PS2,
logo turned. Yeah.
PS3 as well. Yeah.
Oh, was it PS2 as well?
PS2 as well. Yeah.
Wow, man, that was good.
That's great. Do they even have one on this?
No, on the top. So it's either way.
Although I don't know how many people actually have their consoles vertical anymore. I think that kind of died out because
I never even thought of that. That's weird. That's a weird thing to die out, and that's strange.
there's still stands you can buy for them, but I'm not sure many people buy them anymore.
That's the thing. You gotta buy a stand. I don't want to do that. Xbox 360 can just stand up, right?
Some of the stands are awesome because you'd have like little controller docks or games on the side, so you could just have everything in one package. And something today, you have like plugs for the
I
controllers.
feel like that era is over too, though.
What do you mean?
Having all those accessories for your console.
But like having like a functional one, like having the controllers charged would be nice. Because right now I just have a cable and I'm just sitting on top of the console.
The cable's not a great solution right now.
The top of the console being a wireless charger sounds awesome.
That'd be cool.
Get it done, Microsoft. Beat Sony.
They probably will. They'll probably do that.
I'm rooting for Microsoft this gen.
Although you had to rework the controller though, because don't you need like more of a flat surface on the controller for the coil?
You could maybe do it on the legs, like the parts that you hold the controller at.
Yeah, stuff the rumble in there too.
It's a good question. How big the coil has to be? Because if the coil can be small, they could conduct through a cable. They could conduct
But you
it
might
to the
not be able
battery.
to charge it as much though too.
No, but at the same time, I would assume they'd have a cable option because they do the latency.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's like if you want a rapid charge, don't wirelessly do it.
Plus, if you just leave it on your console overnight, it'd probably be charged.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. All right. Some of the top stories this week: Star Wars Jedi, Fallen Order, and a new Titanfall possibly coming this fall. A staffer from, I believe it was Epic, or no, a staffer from Metro, the Metro developers. He posted something on one of the forums saying that the next Metro game would not be on PC if people keep complaining and not buying it on PC.
Oh, jeez.
Nintendo's Reggie Fils-Aime is retiring and being replaced by Doug Bowser,
That's pretty sad.
which is pretty hilarious. Well, I mean, sad that he's leaving, but hilarious that Doug Bowser is now the new president. So, Blizzard has no major frontline releases planned for 2019. PlayStation also explains why they're not also, but PlayStation explaining why they're skipping E3, and Xbox Live will soon connect players on Android and iOS and Switch.
Microsoft is going to blow Sony out of the water.
But first, what's new? Marty, it's been a while. What's new? What's happening? What are you playing? What are you getting into?
I picked up Far Cry New Dawn and Far Cry 5 on sale.
That's a lot of Far Cry.
That is a lot of Far Cry. I realize I'm probably going to take a break in between them.
Yes, yeah.
Especially since I'm playing New Dawn first. So 5 will be a prequel to me. But so far, I've yet to see anything that resembles what I know about 5.
It'll be interesting to see what your experience is, especially when it comes to Joseph Seed and how like you visualize him going into 5 instead of how me and Matt know him and seeing how he's evolved into New Dawn.
Who's that?
He's the main antagonist in 5.
The father.
The man bun guy.
Yeah,
that's him.
In the glasses, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he plays different roles in both, so it's gonna be interesting.
Cool. It's an okay game.
We had some fucking. I was crying laughing yesterday. I couldn't. That was the plane. The plane with no wings is the funniest thing on yours. It's so fucking good.
It's so slow on mine.
Yeah, just go tell the story of your broken ass plane.
Well, you set me up for failure for sure because you're like, oh, I'm gonna spawn this awesome vehicle, and you spawn that piece of crap. We drove around in it for like 5 minutes. And I was just like, I'm fucking done with this thing.
We had to go 5 kilometers, too. We got like 400 meters.
We were so far away. After we procured another vehicle, I realized the mission we were going to was the mission where you get this wingless plane. So I drove all the way to do that mission so I could drive that fucking thing some more. And in my game, it's broken. It's significantly slower than Matt's vehicle.
Every time we've even swapped.
Yeah, we've tried it with multiple
So wait, when you drive it, is it normal speed?
It's fast. It's relative. It's quite fast, and we know it's much slower because Marty's gone into the yellow one for the story mission, and he's like driven off, and then there's like a second black one on the side. That's supposed to be if you're playing co-op, right?
Oh, me and Aaron didn't know that.
Yeah, there's another one on the right outside
Aaron
the
hopped
place.
onto one of the pontoons.
Oh,
we took off.
Well, I got into the black one, let Marty take lead because he's doing the story mission, and I kept like having to hit the brake, and so I went first, and then I was getting too far from him, so it's just a mess.
Should have got behind and pushed him.
And then that truck didn't work.
Yeah, rickety old truck. But at the end of the mission, we get to the spot where you come across a broken bridge, and you're just supposed to jump up down on the bridge. So Matt goes driving on the bridge, and it's fine. And I go, and as soon as I hit the ground, it just detonates. It just fucking blows up.
Man.
I got blown up before that, too.
I was gonna say on the ramp.
I don't know why I blew up that time. We weren't even crashing. I was just sitting there.
And it literally told you, like, it popped up for the first time ever. It was like, make sure the plane does not explode.
Good Lord.
That was the funniest journey I've ever had in a Far Cry game.
So you think it's your controller that's screwing up?
It might be my controller. I had a couple misfires in Overwatch as well, I was noticing.
I wonder if it's maybe just like dust and crap in there over the years.
It might be. I'll have to do something about it. It's my only good controller.
Maybe you can crack it open and see if you can actually fix it without having to buy a new one.
I don't know if I should do that.
I think they're fairly simple.
Yeah?
It's just a chip and then the analog sticks and some rumble motors. Like,
Yeah, it's not too bad.
The game's alright, though. It's fun, but it gets really cheap on me. There's moments where it feels cheap as hell.
Here's the problem. This is definitely a bare bones Far Cry game you're
It's
playing.
like a side thing, right?
Yeah. It's kind of more of a glamorized DLC.
Even just like mission structure, I don't know if it's because I've been playing with other people, so I got really good gear now where I'm at in the story. But I'll just wipe everybody out, and everyone will be like, they're freaking out because like another wave's supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
But I already killed them all. And so the characters are running around like they're scared of the second wave, and they're like, we got to retreat. And everyone just runs back, and I'm just standing there still looking around, but all the enemies are dead. And I'm just waiting for something to queue.
That's a weird part about them. This game's more RPG-ish than their other games.
Yeah.
Because the other games, I don't think there's weapon levels and stuff.
I don't think
It's
so either.
just you can just buy better weapons and put different attachments on it. Here, it's like every gun's a different gun with its own stats.
That you can't change.
Yeah, and you see when you buy like a gold gun, you can just take out everyone. Like I'm at that stage where all my guns are now gold, and I'm just not afraid of anything anymore. So I wonder if it's just a weird balance issue because this is like their first time making it kind of RPG-ish.
One thing I actually hate about the system is that they have like the rarities or whatever, like the blue, gold, whatever, purple. And what sucks is like at the end of the game you can actually not at the end of the game, but there's like a perk you get where you can for your base where you can actually update or whatever upgrade the guns. But you can upgrade like the lower guns, and what I wanted was if I upgrade a blue gun, it should go to purple and gold. Now I've only done this once. But when I did that, it just upgraded the blue gun. It's like, why the hell would I be carrying around? Like, it just feels weird carrying around a blue gun. If that's my favorite gun, yeah, I can upgrade it so it's better. But it just feels weird carrying around a blue. Like, it should upgrade through the tiers.
It's like 5% what do you call it? Increments.
Yeah.
I wonder how many times you can do that.
That's a good question because some of those perks upgrade like a million times.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I got like 7 or 8 med packs now. I just carry around.
Holy God.
Yeah.
It's an odd game.
I think you'll like 5 better.
I think the problem is they expected you to play 5.
Mm-hmm.
There's a problem I have with open world games where the game doesn't show you the world. Red Dead does a really good job of giving you the tour of the entire map.
Yeah.
Missions go there, your camp moves around. In this game, I don't know where anything is or where I'm going, who these people are really. Am I supposed to know
That's
these
a funny
characters?
thing. Yeah, you are.
See, I didn't get introduced to any of them.
There's like outposts where we'll go and I'll be like, oh, I remember this place.
Yeah, see, like, it just looks like a place to me.
Although it is funny, it's a standalone game, right? So they're probably expecting people like you to pick it up as their first Far Cry game.
Yeah, it's not Far Cry 5 New Dawn, right? It's just Far Cry New Dawn.
Yeah.
The thing is too is that it is weird in that the multiplayer sense, where like if I play on your game and we do a story mission because it's your game, I don't get the story progress.
Why can't they do that? Like, why isn't that a thing?
I don't remember it being like that in 5, but Aaron said it was. I don't remember how 5 was either at all. That's weird. I for some reason I can't. Like, I don't remember that at all.
Well, I didn't like it at first either, but I kind of like it as well because it's like if you're playing a co-op game and you both have to be at the same point, it's that weird balance of I want to play tonight, but I can't because I go away from Matt and he's not available online tonight. Mm-hmm. Here, this way, it's like you just jump in with anyone whenever you want and just run around and play.
It definitely seems like it should be possible for it to recognize that you guys are on the same mission, the same progress.
That would be nice.
Together.
Yeah, like if you had that mission in your journal.
Yeah.
When you go and play with someone else and you do it, then yeah. But
now, like, we all got it, so like, I'm sure all of us are redoing missions.
We're all playing it like 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done the intro. My place was level 1, my main base, and I did so much of other people's games. I did the intro 3 times. That I didn't even do it for myself. And then when I went and did it for myself, I upgraded my base fully with minus 1 single upgrade, like to max with other people's ethanol that I earned. So I've like essentially, in terms of the amount of missions, I've played that game over one time, like already more than once.
That's wild. That's why I'll need a break after I'm done with it.
Well, what's good about 5 is if we play it, I don't need to play 5. I can just go into your game.
Yeah. I'll just need a break though. Something like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Have you finished 10?
No. I just pick it up every now and then. That's the great thing about it. Like, the story just starts. Did you notice that?
Yeah. Yeah. It just sends you in there. Yeah.
Yeah, like you hit start and then it's just like, oh, there's this cutscene. Oh, I'm fighting.
The game looks horrible in that opening cutscene too.
I've noticed the game takes place in 2 different times. Like, it's like flashbacks and present. The present looks fine. It looks normal.
Yeah.
Something happened to the flashbacks.
They didn't spend much time on it.
They just look like garb.
It was probably last minute.
God damn.
Put it in real quick.
That's a fun
Well,
game.
they tried to youngify the people too. And it just doesn't work. Like they don't look good.
Yeah, it's like they created like the regular models and then just altered them for the past instead of making 2 separate ones.
Yeah. All right. I've been playing Far Cry 2 as well. And got back into Assassin's Creed, which is great. The game's fantastic.
Like 50 some odd hours in.
Yeah, but that game's incredible.
Really?
The sheer size of the world is mind-boggling.
As Odyssey?
Yeah. Every island you go to feels like an entire brand new open world game.
Is that game really like traditional? Like is it very go to this point, do this random objective, like help this man find his dog?
It's still an AC game for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. But the RPG elements makes it a little more tolerable. Because you feel like you're leveling up every time you do a quest.
Right.
So you feel like you're always progressing.
I think I want to do Origins first, I think.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Even though timeline-wise, Odyssey takes place before Origins.
I feel like I'm never going to get to Odyssey.
Damn.
Because if Origins is super long...
You never played... you never finished Black Flag, and then you never played Syndicate.
Well, I have a good excuse for Black Flag.
Syndicate was a great game.
What happened? What happened to your AC career?
Black Flag, my save got erased 3 times.
And then you gave up on Assassin's Creed?
No, and then I bought Unity, and
Your
Unity...
console broke, didn't it, too?
My console broke twice, and it broke because PS3, the you can't back saves up, like, in that way. And so... that was the end of that chapter.
Well, you could cloud save, but you didn't have PlayStation Plus at the time.
No, because it was PS3, so like why the hell would I kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then so that there was that. And then eventually after a few attempts at playing the game, I went to Unity, and Unity was just a massively buggy mess. And I was just like, you know what? I'm done with this. So I was in.
You were like collecting all the games too. You had them all up until that point.
Yeah. I mean, at least I kept it consistent, I guess, but like goddamn.
Although I think your mistake was buying Black Flag for PS3. That game was meant for PS4.
Although, like, it was a question at that time. It was like, what do you buy? Like, because I wanted to keep the collection as consistent as it could.
You wanted the collection all to be on PS3. Yeah.
But I mean, now I have the collection of all the PS3 ones, so that's good enough for me.
All right.
I guess. like
play Odyssey though; it's great.
I don't know about that. I have all of them. I bought all the other ones. I bought that 3-pack or whatever, Syndicate and whatever.
I'm curious if they'll have a game this year.
What?
I'm curious if they'll have an Assassin's Creed this year. They took that year off, and then Origins, massive game, and then Odyssey, massive game.
I'm surprised that they thought that to fix their lull, they'd make the games longer.
It seemed to work, though. They've been getting better reviews, and the fans seem to like them.
Just waiting on Matt Lawrence to return.
That's pretty sad.
And that movie sucked.
That movie sucked.
I'm glad.
We're watching it tonight.
Oh.
All right, let's hop into the stories.
Hey, man.
What?
I didn't do what I was up to.
You're playing Far Cry.
And Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, you finished the main story.
Finished the main story.
Yeah, what'd you think?
Pretty damn good.
Your favorite game, you said, right?
My favorite game.
How about that, Marty?
With your favorite protagonist.
My favorite protagonist by far, yeah. Arthur Morgan's my favorite character.
He's pretty good.
In any game, yeah.
He's pretty good.
Pretty good.
It also might be the reason why I'm enjoying Far Cry less. Just because it's an open world game.
Oh, yeah.
And Red Dead just fucking mop
the world's way
floor
better,
with, yeah. It's crazy.
There's something interesting I was going to mention when you were mentioning that Red Dead shows you the game. I don't know if this is spoil. I'm going to put out a spoiler warning right now, and I'll put an end of spoiler tag on the time stamp
Look out,
thing.
Adriano.
No, I'm going to put
Yeah.
when the spoilers end, I'm going to put that in the show notes, so then you can skip. Anyway, you know the pagan ritual or whatever that people are trying to like solve. It's like the mystery of the game.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice, the game never takes you over there.
I never saw it.
No, that's very true. That part of the map.
But what's really weird, I've noticed, is that there's in the stats of the game, like whichever menu you can view the stats, there's a gang hideout thing. And some of them are, you clear them out in the story. Some of them you can just find by yourself. So I think I've done 3 of 5 or something like that. The one, Hanging Dog Ranch, you clear out twice, and you could do it a third time. And I did it 3 times. It's the same place. And it's right near there. And that's the only repeat place in the whole game. And the witch is also out there.
Mm-hmm.
There's something going on over there. And
yeah, all the weird stuff's out there.
what the fuck's going on out there?
There's alien out there as well.
I found the only dinosaur bone I ever found out there too.
Is it a dinosaur bone or is it a giant bone?
No, I found both. There's dinosaur bones as a part of a stranger mission.
Oh, okay.
So I found that. But there's something going on over there. And what's really weird is I was just out there poking around, and then you show up there on that ranch. That ranch gets built, and I was just out in that field before there was a ranch there.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking crazy. What's going on out there? Something's going on out there.
Is this kind of that area too where that scientist is, or no? Is that there's more south? than
No,
that?
that's way north. Isn't
Oh,
it?
okay.
I think my game bugged with him, eh? It tells me, you know how like you can go into the strangers and it'll say, like, oh, you have to go meet this guy later or something.
Yeah.
I went in because I did my first mission with him, and he like brought his robot to life.
Oh yeah.
And then he said like, "Oh, get out of here," kind of thing. Like, come back later. And in the description of my like log, it said you can come see him anytime. So I was like, oh, all right. And I noticed that before it was every single night he would want to be there. So I waited till nighttime, no mission there for me. And waited till daytime, no mission. So I was like, all right. So I go just play the game and just keep checking every now and then. No mission there.
How are you checking? Are you actually trying to get inside?
No, I'm just looking at the map.
Maybe you could just go inside.
Maybe.
Because I never concluded that either, because I never saw it come up on the map again.
So maybe I can just go in there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Marty, I know you had this issue too, but it's really annoying when like you'd be on your way to a mission and it would all of a sudden just disappear.
Yeah. Even
Is
if
that
it's
a glitch or what is that?
No, that's because it's time based.
And so every time I go there, it's just not the right time.
Yeah. Like some of them are only available at night or in the evening.
And there was one out in that weird area that I was just saying, and I was out there just exploring, and I knew the game was concluding, so I kind of wanted to poke around out there. And there was I was doing something. I think I was doing another stranger mission or something. And a stranger, you know, like when you haven't met the stranger yet, it like shows the question mark with an area.
Yeah.
I tried to find like that popped up, and I was like, oh, I have to finish the mission I'm on. So I finished the mission I was on, or doing whatever the heck I was doing, and I went to come back, and it was gone. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be exploring for a bit. Maybe it's like a daytime only mission because it was getting late. Like hung around there for a couple days. Like I even camped out to different times. Never showed back up. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's like one time you can go there and that's it. It's gone. But what's curious is it's right across the river from that freaking site. There's something going on out there. Like all the weird mission stuff, with the exception of that guy way up in the mountains, is the only place I've had weird stuff happen.
Mm-hmm.
Matt was telling me that there's still some secrets in the original or the first Red Dead Redemption that still have not been solved.
Yeah, I believe Rockstar said that as well.
So that's a massive spider, Marty. Look out.
What are you talking
Look
about?
up.
I thought it was going to come for me. Let me know if it gets even closer.
Do you want to just take him out now?
He's all right.
Don't touch him.
He's going back up.
I'm using the force.
To push him up.
Yeah, look at that, eh?
Very slow, Marty. Very slow.
He's training.
This is amazing, and you're telling me it's real slow.
Well,
Yeah, all right. What, can you speed that up?
Yeah. You've seen faster force before?
yeah, actually, yeah.
Damn.
You're no Jedi.
You know what? One thing I wanted to ask was, did you donate to that building in Saint Denis? There's a building when you first enter Saint Denis, and I did it in free roam before the story took me there, where I went there as Arthur, and you can give money. It's like $20, $10, I can't remember. And you just pay, and they're trying to build a shelter or something. They're trying to build some big building, and they said they'll put your name on a plaque. And it never finished in the game, so now as John, years later, I'm going to go back there and see if Arthur Morgan's name's there.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I've been thinking about that like for a while, too. I kept going back thinking like, fuck, my name's going to be on a plaque out there. He uses his name a lot for a wanted man, to be honest. What's your name? Arthur Morgan. Is that wanted guy? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I doubt news traveled too far back then, right?
That's true, but in Saint Denis?
It's a big city.
It's a big city. That's true.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know how much this happens in Red Dead, but you're talking about like a building being built and stuff.
Yeah.
It would be cool if it was a little more dynamic, where there was like a bunch of houses being built all over the place, and like as you progress through the game, they'd slowly get built up, and like a lot. I've been hearing a lot of talk for the last like 5 years about how the world needs to evolve, how everything's very static. The people do the same like animations, and it just doesn't feel like a living world. And I think that would be part of like the next step.
Ubisoft, I would say, is the biggest offender of that.
Yeah.
LA Noire did something similar. Like whole neighborhoods would go up because like.
Well, 10 years had passed or something like that, or what?
And like construction was like a part of the story.
Oh yeah.
Like, but you'd go cruising past and it'd be empty field, and then like later in the game it'd be a bunch of new houses.
Watching Chinatown, it's very LA Noirish.
Oh,
like it feels like LA Noire. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I imagine they use that for some.
That's got to be their next game.
I would love that so much. I was hoping then by them announcing or releasing the HD version.
Yeah, that
it was like they were trying to gauge the waters to see if people were interested in a new one. I'm totally down for it.
Yeah, it's like a few generations away now. It'd be a lot more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be a fantastic game.
They could expand the actual investigative stuff, and motion capture has come a long way now, where you can actually see people's emotions properly, unlike LA Noire, which is very difficult sometimes. They had to exaggerate the like lies and stuff, you know.
It was still good. You could still recognize the actors and everything.
Yeah, and everyone had like short, tight haircuts.
Oh yeah.
Nothing. There was never hair like in their face or anything. It was hilarious.
Can they do it the way they did it though? LA Noire was really, I'd say, the most linear Rockstar game that I've played. Can they do linear now that they've put all this money into the Red Dead engine or whatever? I don't know whether it's the same as GTA engine. Probably is, but
yeah, I think it probably is. But that was a smaller team too, though, which is now closed.
But I mean, like they could do LA Noire, but do you think they would do it like Red Dead, where you could imagine going talking to everybody and stuff?
I would hope that if they were going to do a new one, it would be fleshed out like a GTA or Red Dead.
Oh, imagine like you could just go interview anybody looking for clues.
Yeah,
that'd be nuts. You'd actually have to do the investigative work, and they don't just tell you.
You're gonna find actual mysteries in that game and be a fucking detective.
Oh, let's do it.
Well, I was sad about the agent being canceled too. That sounded exciting. It was an espionage game.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting about that though is it took them a while to say it was canceled. It might mean that they're going to use some of those assets somewhere, and that era would be like possibly LA Noire era, because they could just move up the year by like 10 years or something. Like espionage would be 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
And LA Noire was like 40s, 50s.
Mm-hmm.
You could just an LA Noire in lieu of agent would not be outrageous if it was in the 60s or 70s.
That's true.
So they could do a 70s or 60s thing with those assets.
Oh, if it was spies instead of detectives.
Man, why has no one done a really good game like that? Unless they have, send me an email.
Hitman's kind of...
But I want to be more involved. Hitman's very, you're the hitman. Go kill this guy.
Right.
You know?
You know what's actually interesting about that is that I think that the only thing that can make a Rockstar world better at this point is an AI controlled world. The AI has to do stuff.
That'd be so crazy.
Because every game would be like totally different. Like you'd be in Valentine, and maybe I like stopped the wood production. Like I like literally fucked over the wood, the timber company. I screw them over, just at random, and so now Valentine can't grow up. So then when there's a time lapse in the game at any point, maybe Valentine's gone because I fucked over all their industry.
Like just
or something.
Abandoned.
Just gone.
Everyone just leaves. Yeah.
Because the AI would like be given, virtually resources like here's wood, here's rock, here's gold, and you could screw that over.
I just recently heard of a scary glitch.
Oh no!
That takes all the people out of Red Dead.
That's scary.
Yeah, and the world's just empty.
That'd be really terrifying if you logged in and did that. Be like, where the fuck is everyone in Saint Denis and shit?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be the first place I'd go. This place is abandoned. I'm gonna go Saint Denis and check.
Just horses walking around. Nothing but horses.
Oh man.
Brooms.
When horses ruled the world.
That's scary.
All right, let's hop into our stories. The first one comes to us from Variety. You remember Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order?
No.
I really don't like the name of that game because it's confusing. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Jedi. Wait,
Is that a
What?
subtitle?
Fallen Order is kind of the subtitle.
Okay.
So the
It's not though.
the property's name is Jedi :
Oh,
Fallen Order.
right.
But you often think Jedi Order, right? So to put Fallen in there sounds weird to me.
It does
Jedi
sound
Fallen
weird.
Order.
Who's making this game?
This is the one from Respawn.
Okay. Disney's Respawn Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Jesus Christ.
EA too. You got to get EA in there.
Disney's EA, et cetera, et cetera.
Do you have any expectations for this game?
Aren't they the Titanfall guys?
Yeah.
Didn't they just make Apex Legends?
Yeah,
They got a Star Wars game coming?
it's not going to be a battle royale though. I don't think.
And Titanfall is good. It handles really good. Looks nice.
Don't you have news
But
about another Titanfall coming out?
Yeah, that's also part of this. New Titanfall coming this fall apparently.
They ain't making a Star Wars game.
I guess Jedi Order is supposed to come this fall, but I can't believe that because they literally just had a guy sitting in a fold-out chair saying, Jedi Fallen Order is coming.
Oh, that was this game.
Oh my God, I completely forgot about that guy.
And now it's supposed to come out this fall, so I'm not really sure if that's accurate.
The crowd was just like, yeah, did that guy just announce a game? What happened?
Yeah,
was
there was
weird.
no art. There wasn't even a title, like page.
Why are they doing Star Wars just differently? Like, just do it run of the mill. Have your friggin' title card at least. What are you guys doing?
They could have done that at least. Even Metroid did that, right?
Yeah.
At least they had a freaking thing.
Don't have Jade Raymond out there talking about it.
Well, she's no longer at EA.
More, but don't have anyone out there talking about it. Like, put a title card up there.
I'm just saying, I find it hard to believe it will come out this fall unless it's some tiny game.
Mobile game, watch it.
It could be a mobile game, yeah.
I'm out on Star Wars now. The movies are bad.
Christ.
I wasn't really in before either.
There was such hope. I remember feeling hope when
Yeah.
Disney took over.
Episode 7, I did like.
Because Marvel was still like high, and it was like, man, if they could do what they did with the Marvel to Star Wars, I'd be like, this is going to be fantastic. Nope.
I feel like they everyone always misses the mark. It's really sad. Like if it's too hyped, I don't know what happens, but they always miss the mark. This isn't even underhyped. This is just bad.
There's not too many fantastic Star Wars games, eh?
But what's his name? The guy running Disney. He said that he's happy with the relationship so far.
Yeah, he did say that.
That means
Although
they're
that might just
making
be
money, probably.
that might just be the press coverage. He doesn't want to come out and say, no, I'm freaking disappointed with Electronic Arts, and then Electronic Arts like their stock tanks, and it'd be this big thing.
The thing is like just make another Old Republic game.
Literally what people wanted.
Like just make another one.
Yeah.
Like what do you guys do? Get BioWare in there. Make this.
Well, BioWare got their hands full.
They shouldn't.
They have money now. They have the
but-
Disney money.
no,
Just tell them
but
to hire another team.
It's not possible.
It's not possible for BioWare to hire another team.
Because BioWare, first of all, they shut down one of their studios, so they have one fewer studios.
All right, well then spin up another one. What are you doing?
They could retrofit the team working on Old Republic, yes. But they also have Anthem, and then they had Dragon Age, and then another Mass Effect coming up.
Which is why you need a separate team for Star Wars. BioWare, we need you to open up a new studio and have a Star Wars
But that's not going to
team.
be the team you want.
What?
The team you want is working on Anthem and Dragon Age and Mass Effect.
But it's going to be so preliminary that like the work done at the preliminary stages is going to be so preliminary.
You wouldn't see this for like 10 years.
What are you talking about? 10 years if you hire a new team?
Star Wars might be in a better state then.
Yeah.
No, but you can get the new team. Maybe it's not even the Star Wars team. Get the new team to maintain Anthem, to maintain Dragon Age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, yes, they could do it. I'm just saying, it's they got a lot on their plate already. BioWare.
It kind of sounds to me, and this is total speculation, that EA is not actually interested in the Star Wars franchise. Not as much as people.
They probably
as the people are.
paid a bunch for it. I'm sure they're interested in making money off it.
But why are they focusing on things like Apex Legends and Anthem and new Titanfall?
Well, Apex,
and,
they focus on
and.
Apex because they want to cash in on the Battle Royale game, and clearly it's paying off for them with 25
That
million
one
players.
makes sense. Apex makes sense.
They didn't even pour any marketing into it, really.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Battlefield, they said, underperformed.
Of course it did.
So their Battlefield franchise is falling.
they had a controversy over it.
Titanfall never made money, and so they're retrofitting it with Apex. Battlefront was a disaster because of the whole microtransaction thing.
Do you notice,
So
though, that
what they're trying to do is they're trying to save their Star Wars franchises and try to make them when they come out, make the most amount of money for them as possible, and that's why they're switching to the live service because they think that's going to make them the most money.
But like, why
So
aren't they doing?
They had to get rid of the story-based Star Wars games.
They're not. What's weird about EA though is they're not doing anything run of the mill anymore. Apex, no marketing. Battlefront, they decided to do the crazy pay to win, which was very clearly pay to win. What's Titanfall? They release it with Battlefield. Why?
In between Battlefield and Battlefront.
And then Battlefield
Like-
5, Battlefield 5, they decided to make a political statement, which whether you agree with that or not, maybe you shouldn't do that with one of your biggest franchises. Like maybe just don't bring politics into it. It's a video game. Let's calm down.
It's hard to say how much that hurt them, though.
But it was a big thing. Like it definitely hurt them at to some point, to some degree, or it changed something.
However, they did sell like 7 million copies of Battlefield 5.
Well, Christ.
But it was 1 million lower than their projections, which was actually the same for Battlefront. That was 1 million below their expectations.
Like what's going on here? But why are they not just make a run of the mill game? Just do it normally. No fold out chairs. No people coming out talking. Title cards. Fucking trailers. Like, come on, guys.
I don't know. We'll see.
What are you guys doing?
I kind of wish Disney's gaming studios were actually successful and they could just do it all in house. But that collapsed after they spent $250 million on Disney Infinity.
Oh my god.
That's a lot of cash, boys. Holy Christ.
I think that was how much they spent, or something like that.
I'm sure it was a lot regardless.
They can't even get Marvel games out either.
They had to use other studios now, but they've been successful.
Remember that Square Enix game?
That's still coming out, isn't it?
That was like 2 years ago they announced it.
What's that?
They announced an Avengers game.
I don't remember that literally at all.
That's still coming out, though, isn't it?
Yeah, they haven't shown anything since.
What are you guys doing?
Well, no, the Marvel portion of Disney is fine. They had Spider-Man, fantastic game.
Yeah.
They did Guardians of the Galaxy, which was relatively okayly received.
Was that the Telltale one?
Yeah, but Telltale's gone. But
Call up Ubisoft.
they got Marvel
Honestly.
versus Capcom, is it?
They,
Or no, what's
that
the,
did
no,
poor-
sorry.
That did poorly.
Yeah, not that one. The Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
They got that coming
Exclusive
out.
to the Switch.
They got that coming out, yeah.
That
That's
looks
a weird
ba-
exclusive.
That looks bad.
Do you think Ubisoft could make a good Star Wars game?
I think they could make a better game than EA has.
They'd make that run-of-the-mill game you want.
But I don't think it would be anything groundbreaking.
Well, the thing is I think the only thing that Ubisoft does consistently poorly is that the actual characters in the world, not that are unrelated to the story, are so incidental. Like the people
In what?
in Ghost Recon, I don't give a fuck about those people. The people that are just running around,
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah.
the NPCs are literally so dumb. They just wander around, they get lost in the woods, they fall off of stuff, they run in front of cars. Same with Far Cry. All the people that are unrelated to story are just dumb, bland. Like they need to liven the world a bit.
This is EA or who are we talking about? Ubisoft, yeah.
But imagine a Ubisoft game or a Ubisoft made Star Wars game that's like Far Cry with a bit more lively world. That'd be cool.
To be fair, Battlefront, you didn't play the campaign, did you?
No.
The campaign it felt very Star Warsy. That was a very good. I really liked that campaign, and they nailed Luke Skywalker. Absolutely nailed Luke Skywalker.
Didn't they make a comment about single player games?
EA?
Yeah. I saw some buzz on Twitter about how apparently EA was saying that's why the multiplayer games weren't quite done, because they were spending too much time on single player or something.
Something like
I never
that.
confirmed.
No,
those,
you're right. It was something like that. Though.
Something like that. Some
Yeah.
sort of Twitter buzz. I
But
didn't follow.
people wanted a single player game in Battlefront. That's what they wanted from the first one.
I think single player's coming back in a big bad way.
Hopefully, I hope so.
God of War, one game.
Oh
of the year.
man, that was a great game.
Everyone loves Red Dead,
Red
but I
Dead,
don't
yeah.
think everyone's loving the online.
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah, that's a good one. Even Nate doesn't play Red Dead Online, and he loves GTA Online.
And he played a bunch of Red Dead original online.
And he beat the hell out of Red Dead too as well. So like,
All right, moving on. So Marty, are you aware of this Metro controversy? You know,
I am not,
You know Metro,
actually.
the game Metro.
Yeah.
So they were originally coming out on Steam for their PC release. They then pulled it from Steam and are launching on the Epic Game Store.
Right. Okay.
And this made a lot of PC gamers angry, and even threatening not to buy the game
Why?
because they can't get it on Steam for some reason.
that's correct.
It's free. The Epic Game Store is free to download. You can have access to it. You just got to create an account and you can buy the game there.
Yep.
Um,
People don't want multiple launchers.
yeah.
Well, it's coming.
So a lot of people are threatening not to buy Metro on PC. And one of the staffers at the Metro developer, 4A Games, like went onto their forums and said, if you guys aren't going to buy the PC versions, there's not going to be future Metro games on PC. And then this created a whole controversy. And then
How is that a controversy? Oh,
Because-
you lower the demand. So then, all right, there's no point in me being in that market. Then bye. Easy. See you later.
because the communications team at 4A Games doesn't want their developers saying, you know, our games aren't coming on platforms that they're potentially planning to have games come out on.
Yeah, but what I get
It's a mismarketing communication situation.
but I think it's rather clear to say that, hey, if you guys don't buy this on this particular, that'd be like them trying to release something specifically on Mac, and the Mac sells 10 copies. They're not making the next game on Mac.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. It's just standard.
But also there's
Understanding.
there's not going to be enough of these angry PC gamers not buying the game to warrant not coming out with another game on PC.
I know someone that didn't buy it.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
That's surprising. It's
Really?
it's
Yeah,
it's
he just seems
irrational.
he's like they stole it from me. That's what he said, and he's like, I'll never touch it now.
It's irrational to
They
me.
stole it. From
That's what he said. Quote: They stole it from me.
No, they didn't.
That's what they said.
You
That's
can
what
go
they
buy
said.
it.
Available. You can go get it.
That's what I said. I'm like, if it was still back in the day and you had to go into Walmart instead of Zellers, is like, did they steal it from you? Did Walmart steal it from you? And he couldn't answer that question.
You know what's gonna happen is like so many more games are gonna move over to Epic that you're gonna have to get it anyway, and then you're like, oh, well, I might also play Metro now.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
This is the problem with the culture today too. Everything's political now.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, you betrayed me because you moved it from one game store to another.
It's like, dude.
And so
it's
now
a launcher.
I must punish you. You know.
Oh man, whiny gamers, they're the worst.
So anyway, 4A Games has responded by saying the recent comments made by a member of the 4A Games development team do not reflect Deep Silver's or 4A Games' view on the future of the franchise. They do reflect the hurt and disappointment of a passionate individual who has seen what was previously nothing but positive goodwill towards his work turned to controversy due to a business decision he had no control over.
Yeah, it sounds like he has this kind of dickish tone, but he's just stating a fact. I kind of agree with you.
I think
Like,
what
if
they're
it's not
saying.
gonna sell well. It's there's no
There's no
reason.
point.
It's not gonna work.
I think what the guy's saying too does make sense because he's like, about him being passionate. Like he put all his work into this game. It's getting good reviews. And there's a lot of excitement for it, and now people are simply not wanting to play it because it's available somewhere else. Has nothing to do with the quality of the
It's not
game
even
itself.
game, yeah.
The quality of the game is still good. It's just people are criticizing it and review bombing it on Steam.
Oh fuck that.
Yeah, the review bombing stuff has to stop. That's so stupid.
What really sucks is like Sea of Thieves is a good example actually. Sea of Thieves is on the Microsoft Store. As far as I know, it's only on the Microsoft Store on PC.
It's a Microsoft game though.
And I downloaded it yesterday on PC just to give it a go with Adriano. And I tried to add it to my Radeon settings because it's not compatible with Crossfire. And so I was having some problems, so I was going to turn it off. So I set it in just a previous explanation. So in there, I can turn off Crossfire just for Sea of Thieves and other games and not turn them off globally because like Crossfire works on other applications I have. Because it's a Windows Store game or Microsoft Store game, it's in a folder that without some majiggering, I don't actually have access to. So I couldn't add a profile, so I had to turn off Crossfire. Now, that's a small thing, but like, why aren't people talking about that? Isn't that a quote-unquote betrayal in this type of culture? Like, what's going on here?
I don't know. It seems this kind of stuff always seems selective. If a smaller game did this, no one would care. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What? I don't get it.
I also don't think anyone expects Metro not to launch on PC. That's like their big thing.
Yeah, all of them have been.
People
haven't they?
use Metro to benchmark their consoles and stuff.
I
Or
used the
their
first
PCs.
Metro, yeah,
Yeah.
to benchmark mine. God damn.
I am interested in that game though. It looks pretty cool. Although it's like a horror genre, right? It's a little scary, a little spooky.
I think it's kind of evolved a little bit here and there. You might have to look it up.
But I think they were still saying that, like the review I read said that they don't need to be in the Metro to be scary because they're now above ground and stuff, and it's still scary.
It's kind of like freaky, but I never got scared of that game. It's probably a thriller. There's a lot of tension.
And
in
there's
that
like
game.
monsters and stuff.
There's
right?
monsters, and you're running out of resources and crap. Yeah.
All right, Nintendo of America's president Reggie Fils-Aime is retiring. This is after 15 years, almost 15 years, more than 15 years. nearly 13 as president and COO. His last day will be April 15th, and Doug Bowser, Nintendo of America's current senior vice president of sales and marketing, will then succeed him. So Reggie Fils-Aime had a comment. He says, Nintendo owns a part of my heart forever. It's a part that is filled with gratitude for the incredibly talented people I've worked with, for the opportunity to represent such a wonderful brand, and most of all, to feel like a member of the world's most positive and enduring gamer community. As I look forward to departing in both good health and good humor, this is not game over for me, but instead leveling up.
God damn it.
More time with my wife, family, and friends.
Is he a gamer or something? Is that why he said that?
I don't know if he games much, actually.
I kind of get the vibe that he plays his DS a lot for some reason.
Probably. But he never played Smash Bros, right? Or he had played, but he wasn't very good at it.
Yeah.
And it's like that's like one of their key titles. You think that he would be like playing it more than he was?
But he's like that's like more of a hardcore game, right?
I suppose, but I would expect the president to at least play one of their big franchises.
He doesn't look right holding a DS. I don't know if he plays it.
He doesn't look right holding a DS?
He doesn't look right holding a DS. It's weird.
Yeah, I didn't think Jack Tretton gamed a lot either because he seemed like a typical business guy. But I listened to an interview with him. Like this was after he left Sony, so he had a little more freedom to talk about it and stuff. He's been playing games for a long time, like since the 70s. Like he's been a gamer for a long, long time. He's not as maybe as hardcore and playing every night like we are, but he definitely like played games.
That's probably weird to play games for that long. I don't like to think about that.
There's a lot of people who played for that long.
Yeah.
A lot of people remember the first Doom being a revolution, which means they played before that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they all, like a lot of the shooter like devs today will mention Doom. Be like, Doom was the biggest revolution, and that's my like inspiration for this.
You're correct, actually. Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that have been playing games for a long time.
What's our biggest revolution?
Definitely
2007.
Definitely the 360.
2007.
Query corner question, maybe?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I'd just say 2007.
Save it for the end.
HD.
Yeah.
Just more complex gaming, bigger worlds and stuff, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I can't name a single title that is like the landmark one, the title of our time. I don't know what that is.
There isn't really one, eh? It was kind of...
It was like everything. There was a gaming renaissance in that era.
Yeah, we got like 5 new like core ideas that we just stuck with for the last 10 years.
Yeah. All right, well, have fun, Reggie Fils-Aime. We'll miss you. We'll miss Fils-Aime too.
Reggie Fils-Aime.
Hunter Vision or Batman Vision. That's what I'm going to say it is.
Oh, no.
Our biggest revolution.
That makes us look like bad gamers, though.
Yeah, it made games super cheesy and easy.
Oh. Actually, funny enough, Eagle Vision I don't use anymore in Odyssey.
Oh, you're too good
I have
now.
an Eagle Type Vision where like you can kind of highlight certain things around you. You can level it up a bit. Never use it. Tomb Raider, I'm like constantly mashing that Eagle Vision though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, well, have fun, Reggie. I hope there's amiibo made of you.
Oh, that'd be so
That'd
good.
be great, actually.
On the Doug Bowser, bringing us the next gaming revolution.
I saw a funny tweet that he was like they were changing everyone's names to like Nintendo characters as his first act. They were all becoming Nintendo.
That's pretty good.
Also, some magazine or something or some news site that doesn't like cover gaming much said that Doug Bowser is taking over Nintendo, and they said yes, he's named after a Pokemon.
Oh
No! God damn it!
That's hilarious.
There must have been someone so sure of themselves
Yeah.
that they didn't even look it up or anything. They didn't check to make sure.
Well, they said yes.
I think he's
They
a
confirmed
Pokemon.
it.
Bowser's a Pokemon, right?
Oh man.
All right, next up, this is kind of some sad news. Blizzard has no major frontline release planned for 2019. This comes to us from IGN. Activision announced in its quarterly earnings call Tuesday that Blizzard will not have a major frontline release for 2019. Turning to Blizzard, we expect materially lower financial performance this year. 2018 benefited from the release of World of Warcraft Battle of Azeroth, whereas we are not planning a major frontline release for 2019. I'm imagining this means no Overwatch 2.
Wait a second here. Does that mean no World of Warcraft expansion?
Probably.
Is that the end of that game?
Or maybe. Do they have an expansion every year?
I thought so. I don't play that game.
I don't track it much.
I don't track it either, but I thought they did. At the very least, you'd figure one a year, right?
That'd be a lot.
Yeah, that'd be a lot.
But it's an expansion. It ain't it ain't a whole world. Cataclysm was like a real big expansion. I remember back in the day because it affected a bunch of the old stuff. But the new ones can be totally separate. They can just be a new area. And they have the engine. They got the folks there. What are those World of Warcraft guys doing then? What are they doing?
What they always do.
Clearly not if they're not releasing an expansion.
No,
right?
but they're wait, who's doing what?
I'm saying what's the World of Warcraft team doing?
The team. Oh, what do they normally do? However, they just
They usually make an expansion.
events and stuff. I don't know.
I'm gonna look up the expansion release dates here.
But anyway, this means no Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
It means no Diablo 4. And it means no StarCraft 3.
I am incorrect. It is every 2 years approximately.
Okay.
So okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
So frontline, big games.
Yeah, because I think they obviously have the mobile Diablo planned.
Immortal.
They probably have some other smaller titles and maybe expansions for other games.
It's the year every game gets a mobile version.
Yeah, and they're probably waiting for the next gen.
I can see Blizzard going out of business.
I don't think so.
I mean, that's what we all thought about THQ.
Well, no.
I don't know if people thought THQ was going to go under.
But THQ didn't just all of a sudden go belly up. People saw their fall kind of coming.
Yeah, but isn't this us seeing their fall?
No.
We don't have any big title releases. We just enraged one of our biggest communities. We have a mobile game coming
The
out.
enraged community is not going to affect them much.
And they made a hell of a ton of money.
On what?
Overwatch and
Loot boxes.
You think Overwatch is still like powering them like consistently, or
No, but all of them together are probably pumping out enough money.
Hearthstone's dropping though? So I've heard anyway.
Heroes of the Storm has less support now.
Is spinning down.
Yeah.
So we have Hearthstone aging, that game, or Heroes of the Storm aging and spinning down. Overwatch aging.
Yeah.
No Diablo except for a mobile game.
Would a year off benefit them then from coming up with something new? Come back strong next year.
It's possible. They can probably afford a year of lower earnings, and then maybe they'll be ready to just launch some new stuff later. And then they will people will get time to settle down, and their hatred for Blizzard will go away.
Is Blizzard's formula old news? Diablo feels like I feel like I'm going back to play a classic new game
Because that game style is very classic.
But that goes for Hearthstone now because they kind of define that genre, and it's been a few years. So
it's hard to come up with a Hearthstone 2 too, right?
Because that's the thing.
Overwatch 2 is definitely possible.
Yeah.
That's their newest.
I think that'd get a lot of people back. So that was really popular for like a year or two even.
Are there loot box controversies about Overwatch?
Absolutely.
But I've never heard like mainstream ones.
Like I'm curious whether they would go a different route with the characters.
I'm fine with the way they're doing it now. I'm
fine with it.
And I bought loot boxes.
I still don't like the loot boxes.
I don't like mine currently. I get nothing but duplicates.
Like I would be more down with if you if you get a certain amount of points or something as a certain character, you earn a loot box of that character's stuff.
No. The thing with Overwatch is a lot of the skins are really cool.
Right.
And if I got a really cool skin for Bastion or whatever,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh shit, maybe I'll play Bastion now.
Right.
And the other system, I have to work towards a certain character. I have to already like the character, play towards it, then buy something for that character. You know what I mean? I'd rather just earn things for random characters. It might encourage me to branch out.
I might be more okay with this whole system if there was a way to directly earn currency. I think maybe. I want a path to an item. Like if I see an item I want a path there and not a random like, well, just open 100 loot boxes then to raise your probability. Like I want a path there.
It would be nice if you got like currency depending on how well you did each game. Kind of like Battlefront.
Yeah.
You get credits based on your final game score of that match.
That'd be awesome. Or like do something really good, like get to play the game, and
But
if you get 10 plays of the game, you get a legendary thing. Like
I'm also
like
fine
a
with the
big
way it
pack
is
of
right now,
gold.
though.
Mm-hmm.
I have no complaints over it.
I also have issues with working towards specific items.
What do you mean?
It gets stale faster. It might have led to us not playing Steep as much because I just got the things I wanted. like the items.
Oh yeah.
Well, that just happened to me in Sea of Thieves. I have the outfit I want, and it's like I don't really need to work up to any other outfit.
Right.
So it kind of takes the wind out of the sails.
Literally.
Yeah.
That's a
I'm
good
still
one.
working toward my friggin' thing. I don't know. That's a good point. Like if you grind all the way to finish to get somewhere and then you get there, does it ruin it? It kind of shouldn't, right?
A new system would feel refreshing though, because Overwatch 2 could add like a story element, but still have the same gameplay and the same loot box and same skin system. But it all might feel samey at the end of the day. A new loot system might be interesting.
Well, that's for them to figure out.
Yeah,
I think Blizzard's fine though. I think they'll be fine.
I think so too. I'm gonna say Overwatch 2 next year and some new IP.
Launch day on the PS5 and Xbox 2.
I'll be there.
Mm,
I'd be there on launch day for Overwatch 2.
that'd be good. All right. PlayStation they finally explained why they're skipping E3. So they're not going to be at this E3, and I guess probably not for the foreseeable future. Or will they be returning based on what it sounds like? This comes to us from IGN. And in an interview with CNET, Sean Layden spoke about Sony's involvement in E3. He said, now we have an event in February called Destination PlayStation where we can bring all the retailers and third-party partners to come hear the story for the year. They're making purchasing discussions in February. June now is just too late to have a Christmas holiday discussion with retailers. So traditionally E3 was a place you go to sell your games to retailers. Now the retailer space has changed. He's also saying they're doing it in February instead of June now. And also, a lot of it's online.
I was about to say, what retailer? You upload the file to your digital store. What,
Right.
what retailer? Or is that a retailer? I don't know.
But that's that's themselves. But there's also Amazon, Best Buy. There's still GameStop and EB Games.
Well, but what I mean is like you'd have to watch, like like if you're putting something on the PS Store, they have to be aware of the fact that it might also be on the Microsoft Store.
Yeah,
So is that a retailer conversation?
maybe. But anyway, it was traditionally a place where you talk to retailers and press.
Right.
Right. He's saying retailers now do it in February, not June. He's saying June's too late, I guess. And also, he kind of got into... So he continues here. So retail has really dropped off, and journalists now, with the internet and the fact that 24/7 there is game news, it's lost its impact around that. So the trade show became a trade show without a lot of trade activity. The world has changed, but E3 hasn't necessarily changed with it. And with our decision to do fewer games, bigger games over longer periods of time, we got to a point where June of 2019 was not a time for us to have a new thing to say. How do you feel about the bigger games, the bigger but longer development times?
I love that. I love that idea.
I think they're seeing that with Horizon Zero Dawn and God of War.
Mm-hmm.
How they spent a lot of time on those games, and those were great games, well received and sold really well.
Those are high risk though.
You're right.
One
Yeah.
flops, you're probably donezo.
But Sony has enough studios to kind of balance that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But even just seeing the game, like regardless of whether you like how it looks or plays, you can see the quality in those games just at a glance.
Yeah.
I think that reels people in.
A good example, Matt, is The Order. Well done game.
Yeah.
Wasn't the funnest to play and didn't sell very well, but it had like a long development time and was a highly well polished game. But it was a failure for them.
And is that studio around anymore?
Yeah, I think
That's
they're.
Santa Monica, isn't it?
Yeah,
I wasn't sure who made it.
yeah, they're still around.
So like I mean, if you're backed by Sony, that the longer games development time makes more sense.
I'm curious how much money Sony decides to give each of their studios.
God of War might pull in more money just because of its
Yeah,
legacy.
yeah. But like, would they take the profits of God of War and like maybe share some with their smaller studios, or is
I don't think so.
Is it really just based on did this studio produce a high selling game? They get more of our budget.
Or it might just be commission based. Like God of War makes 70% and then 30% goes to Sony, and so like it's up to the studio to be relatively independent. But Sony could give them money if they get into trouble.
Right.
It's weird hearing Sony talk about like the business aspect of E3. You don't really hear anybody really bring that up, but it doesn't. To me, E3's influence and marketing,
100%.
It's a big old commercial.
Yeah.
Doesn't really seem like it's for the retailers. It's for people like us.
Because that's probably happening there, right? The news doesn't need to show us that because we don't care about that. And Sony and stuff probably want to keep that stuff secret anyway. They don't want us to hear their discussions about retailers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the news always covered it as a sales show, but it is actually
It's an advertisement.
an advertisement. Yeah.
The thing is though is I kind of don't think that he's right in saying that E3 hasn't evolved. E3 was very much like we had a discussion about it even with like Peter Moore when he was at Microsoft. Like it was a goofy, kind of time where that was its transition. That period of time was like around the GT4 era was when it was transitioning from them blabbing on about consoles and like look how much power this console has and it has wireless controllers or it's wired or like whatever the stats are. Like they used to blab on about that stuff for hours, and then we see Microsoft now going, let's have a big old party. We got screens all over the place. You got these wristbands that light up, and it's just like Marty said, it's all marketing.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk anymore. We want to play games. Let's go. Boom, and then they play games.
They still do the talking every now and then. Everyone does it the press conference a little differently.
I like the talking myself, to a degree. Don't talk forever. I want to see the game. Yes.
Well, the problem is like.
I also don't like what Sony did. I liked it the first year because that was amazing. But the years after that, I kind of wanted them to come out and talk more about their games instead of just a trailer showcase. I mean, I could just watch the trailers online. I don't need to watch the conference.
Weird.
I think
that was a bad idea. Yeah.
The reason for that is like all the game sites have like their little article after E3's over of like who won E3, and it's usually down to who showed the most games. So everyone just stuffs games and other press conferences now. Yeah.
And like when he's saying all this stuff about retailers, if you take that out of the mix, like since that's secretive for the most part, like what are we supposed to do? Just keep it locked to IGN like every fucking day of the year?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like what the hell are we supposed to do? Like most of the gaming news comes from E3.
I don't think he's lying here, but I don't think it's the full story either. I think it's probably they're taking longer to develop their games.
Yeah.
They're probably not lining up with ready to be shown at E3.
I think this is a Sony problem, and admittedly, it sounds like they're making a good decision for them.
Yes,
to be clear.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they're idiots or anything. What I'm saying though is that like we just saw Bethesda relatively recently join E3 for a reason. It's because E3 still has value there. You need to have a showcase because people will tune in at that time. They'll sit on that'll be their background music at work instead of having music. They'll listen to the live stream and watch E3, right?
You and Adriano were saying that you don't necessarily watch individual conferences outside of E3.
No, I don't.
So if Sony had their conference in May, you wouldn't necessarily watch it. But because E3 is like this big spectacle where everyone comes together and has conference around the same time, you're more likely to watch them all.
I didn't even watch the unrelated to video games. I didn't even watch the Samsung conference, and I was interested in that phone. I didn't look at it till days later. It's just one of those. I don't know what it is. It's just like I don't. It's inefficient to me. Like I'll just end up hearing about it from someone anyway. So I might as well. What's the point of me going to look for it?
You don't even have to be there. Just release your trailer.
Right.
Around that time, it'll just get lumped in with all the E3 news.
Yeah,
that's very true.
Yeah.
Nintendo just does their directs now. They don't do a press conference.
But they do it at that time strategically. It makes sense.
They do an E3 Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
But they have them all year.
Even EA, they left E3 officially, but their EA Play event is still.
It's still at E3.
It's still at E3 time. Yeah. But Sony has PlayStation Experience in December.
I missed it.
I don't think they had one last year.
No, they didn't have one last year.
And so I'll be curious to see if they have one this year.
It kind of sounds like they're doing that other thing that they just said. They just say I can't remember the name of it.
The PlayStation what?
I don't know. You said it in the notes there.
No.
You said the name of it. Sean
No,
you said they had some sort of event, right?
I think I misspoke. I think I said PlayStation Destination, but I think I meant to say PlayStation Decision.
Okay.
All right. I don't remember the exact phrase, so I can't exactly.
I don't know what happened, but
reel the tape back.
Yeah.
But
what do they got coming up this year?
Well, not much for this year. I don't think. Not that I can think.
See,
of.
this is not good for them. They're in, I think.
No,
I don't.
this is fine.
I don't think Last of Us is ready.
Is Days Gone an
Oh
exclusive?
yeah. Days Gone's coming out. Yeah, but that won't hold them over for the year.
No, I'd like that game looks like fine and great. Like I don't
It's
want
not
to
gonna
play it.
It's not going to sell consoles.
No.
But I think they're done though. I think their one president even said they're rolling down. This is now the time when they're transitioning to the next gen consoles. I think all the games that they teased at last year's E3 will probably be on both PS4 and PS5.
When do I play The Last of Us? I shouldn't have played it on PS3. Maybe I shouldn't play it on PS4.
Well, you're probably not going to get it day one anyway, right?
What?
Last of Us?
Last of Us Part 2.
I probably will.
Oh, really?
But if I know a PS5 one's coming out, maybe I won't.
But are you even gonna get a PS5?
I wish Sony was at E3 this year so I could make that decision.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I found the quote that you said.
Okay.
Just to clarify, it says, "quote," and this is from Sean Layton. Now we have an event in February called Destination PlayStation.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then ... etc.
Okay. Well, there you go.
And
I don't
now-
remember what that was. But
Now it's for retailers, where we bring all
Oh,
retailers
okay, I
and
see.
third-party partners to come hear the story for the year.
I
and
see.
then he continues.
So that's all private then. That's all on their end.
I don't know, third party. Like we might see some stuff drop on YouTube. We could see some, maybe not live
But
stream, but we could
February's
see some stuff.
almost done here, unless they have it like in the next
Well,
week.
it could be even the last day. You can just drop stuff online.
I've not heard anything about it, so I'm not.
I have no idea.
All right.
The only Sony game I'm interested in at this time is Days Gone, and they're in rough shape if they're gonna try to get, unless they're saving their stuff for PS5.
That's what I'm saying. I think the games are either gonna come out late 2019 or 2020, and then they'll have a new version for the PS5.
Do you think that like it makes a lot of sense for them to have a really good PlayStation 5 lineup? If they are going to lose the feature war, let's say, to Microsoft, which I estimate they will,
Which they're already losing.
Yeah. So I estimate, based on that trend,
losing in theory, they're still winning in sales.
No, but in terms of the feature war,
Yes.
in terms of the feature war and the offering war, they're losing to Microsoft. If that has any indication over console sales, which I personally believe it does, and the PlayStation 5 comes out, and they have now invested a whole bunch of time and money into these big-ass development cycles, how effective is it going to be to say, we have these 5 games coming out, and everyone's going to be like, but Microsoft has like 4 services, 8 this, 8 that, backwards compatibility. What's going on here, Sony? And they're going to be like, but we have 5 games coming out in the first year. Bang! You're out. You're out, man.
I don't know.
I don't think
You're
so.
out, man.
I don't think
Telling
so.
you, like not out as in out of business.
What is gonna
But you're
be
not
at-
gonna win.
What game is going to be on that Microsoft launch?
They bought a lot of studios. We
What
don't
game,
know.
though?
We don't know.
No.
That we could be a Halo.
The thing is, they'll probably tell me at E3. Sony probably should be there. This
Probably
year.
should only be should probably be
This
there.
is
Yeah.
like when people are starting to think about where they're going.
But they could have a PSX this year at December,
But like, what do you?
which is closer to the next gen consoles.
I guess so. If like the Microsoft thing gets announced, I'm like, well, that's kind of shit. And I think about that for like 9 months, and then Sony comes along, like, hey, check out our shiny box.
Actually, didn't
I'll get
Xbox
that.
mention their next gen console at last E3?
They said
They
they're
said
making
like
something.
like
Yeah.
our studios are working on next gen games or something like that.
Some guy in a lawn chair said it.
Fuck me.
They should someone should parody that. That'd be great.
Reggie in the crowd.
Just the biggest crossover ever. Just
All right, our last story of the week. This comes to us from Engadget. Xbox Live will soon connect players on Android, iOS, and Switch. So it's kind of unclear how this is going to work, but I guess maybe there's going to be games or something that you can then log in with your Microsoft account and potentially share data and saves and whatnot, or what?
well, I would assume that at the very least it's going to I assume again party chat. Party chat still already works on.
So
On phones.
Xbox Live will soon have a cross-platform developer kit that integrates the service into Android, iOS, and Switch games. You'd have your achievements, clubs, friends list, and more while on the move, and you could pick up on some experiences where you left off.
Huh?
Oh shit!
Like you
that's-
could play a game on Xbox and have to run and get to work or something, and then play on the train or whatever on the rooftops. You can play on the rooftops.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty good.
It seems like Xbox wants to be everywhere and no longer just on the Xbox.
Makes sense.
Which makes sense for where we're heading, I guess, as a society, where everything's on your mobile devices.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm not gonna use that. I don't want that.
But think about that though. It's like you guys were on tour recently. Imagine if you guys had like a couple down days where you were just in a hotel room and had nothing planned.
And my iPad right here, according to Apple, mind you, is as powerful as that Xbox One S.
So he like assuming it can use all that power.
I could be playing Gears 4 over
He could be playing Gears 4, and he could potentially hook that up to the TV. And you don't need a Switch. You don't need a specific console. You just got this thing. You stream it, or you play it natively if it's possible, or whatever.
That's not gonna work.
That's not. But imagine just sitting at your table with this setup, right? You got an Xbox One controller. How fantastic is that?
I can already do that with my Windows 10 tablet.
You can already do that.
I can already do it.
How fantastic is that?
Why hasn't Apple done that?
Well, Xbox is doing it. Apple's never really been into games. They just, for some reason, just don't care about it.
It's a totally different industry.
Although they care about it on like the mobile games because they're making billions off of the mobile games, but they don't care about like big games.
For some reason, this just ain't gonna work in my head.
No,
it's not gonna work.
All it is computing. Like computing is mundane now. It's all about where you use it. We can compute things miles away and then send it to you. You don't even need the power at your own house anymore.
You just need the wires.
Just need the cables.
I need the wires, please. Please send them here.
Does it got Last of Us? Can I play that on there?
No.
Probably on PlayStation Now, though.
Wait, couldn't you?
What?
Well, I thought there was supposed to be an iPad version of PlayStation Now. I don't think there is, though. Maybe not in Canada.
I'm not sure on that.
I don't know.
I don't really follow PlayStation Now, to be honest. But I have Xbox Game Pass.
You should give PlayStation Now another go now that your network's a little...
It was good before, though. It was 60 down,
but you
60 up.
but your PlayStation's wired in now, right, as well?
It's wired in now, yeah.
And you weren't on 5 gigahertz last time, right? Because I don't think the original PS4 supports 5 gigahertz.
I don't remember, actually. That's a good question.
And I think you need that for streaming.
No,
don't you?
wait. 5 gigahertz doesn't work on PlayStation 4.
That's what I'm saying. So when you were streaming it on there, maybe you needed...
So I should be wired in, as you're saying, which I am now.
Which you are now. So I wonder if you gave it another try, see how it is.
Does
But
that
you would
Pro
have to,
do 5 gigahertz?
I think so.
Damn them.
Don't quote me on that. I know it does 802.11 AC, which I don't think the original PlayStation does. But that's not 5 gigahertz per se.
Good Lord. Good Lord is all I got to say about that.
Yeah. All right, that's it. Unless anyone has any...
We should do that Query Corner.
Yes, and you remembered what it was.
What's the revolution? Like, Doom was the revolution for the 80s gamers. What's the revolution for our period? 1990s kids.
The first thing that came to my mind, and it might just been the cultural impact, not necessarily a revolution, but COD 4.
COD 4 is a good one.
But that might have defined what the shooter was going to be going forward, in the same way Doom defined what a first-person shooter is.
That's very fair, I'd say.
Well, I was going to ask is it not a generational thing, but more of a console generational thing? So not like an age generational thing. Like, would you have to choose the magnum opus of each generation, a console generation, not the people generation?
Not necessarily, because I don't think Doom was the magnum opus of whatever system that launched on.
That was a PC.
Yeah,
Well,
I just think
something
it was they were the first ones to do a first-person shooter. That was a whole new game style, right?
Yeah.
So I think you'd have to find a whole new gaming style. Maybe Battle Royale is the one for this generation. Not us, but the next generation.
Minecraft is a big one.
Oh,
that
yeah,
came in.
Minecraft. Holy crap.
Because we all played that for a long time.
Marty's wool house that burned down.
That's real sad, Marty.
I remember logging in and Marty's house was gone.
Yeah, it was toast. That's all right.
That server was fucking crazy. We had like 10, 15 people on that thing.
I could still go rebuild it.
You still got those, man?
Yeah. All on my OneDrive. But I keep coming back to like I think it's got to be per gen. Like GTA Vice City was a pretty big monumental thing in the PS2, I'd say. But like if you look at it now, which I literally have it on my PS4, it's not that great, but it is old. But I could play Doom right now, and I wasn't even alive when it came out, or maybe I was too young. When did it come out? The original Doom.
Let's find out.
But like Regardless of which, like I never played it when it first came out, but I can go back that far.
Mm-hmm.
So like Vice City, I think is the magnum opus of PS2. I think.
93.
Yeah, so we were like 1 year old. Like it's not. There's no way. But like I have played Doom quite a bit actually.
That original cover art is great. It's so like identifiable.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
So like what like 3D maybe one of the things that our generation
that's
had.
pretty old now though.
3D?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
3D was like on the N64 and stuff. Like it's.
But that was our generation that had that.
But
I'm talking newer though.
This might just be my own time when I started gaming, but I more recognize the PS3 and Xbox 360 as like the era where I was a conscious gamer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
PS2, I just kind of
played the shit out of.
I didn't know what was going on. I just bought games that I thought looked interesting. I wasn't reading reviews. I wasn't in the culture. I was just playing games.
I didn't even have internet when I had a PS2.
Jeez.
I think we maybe in the middle of me having it got dial up. I think. God, that's old, man. I can't even think back that far. Like those that's weird that those little details. At the very least, I did not have PSN in any capacity. At the very least. And so I wasn't online in that regard. So we're talking 360 and Xbox One era.
That's just what resonates with me as our generation's like gaming period.
I miss the days of like going to the store and looking at the covers and then just like buying something that looked cool. And sometimes it'd be just shit, like just really bad.
I was too young to really know the difference.
Well, yeah, there
I kind
was
of just
that.
played everything and didn't really notice glitches or didn't notice bad dialogue or bad gameplay or anything.
I'd say AA games were bigger in that era.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
for sure,
Now.
for sure.
I can't. What's a AA game nowadays?
Wasn't that one that you and Adriano played? Hellblade. That was supposed to be AA, right, or something?
That's
Or B.
AA.
Well, it's difficult to say. They became an indie studio who aspired to make a AAA game.
It's AA.
Okay.
Yeah, like it went viral, but that's not really specific to the.
Yeah.
What? It's weird how like the other generation can so easily identify with Doom.
We may be still too close to it.
What do you mean? Like
When you're
360.
further away, you have more perspective of that time period, and whatever stands the test of time becomes kind of more what you remember.
But if you expand it to like PS2, which was a long time ago to us, even like a fair time ago, why is it that we can't identify something there? Like these guys can so clearly identify with Doom.
But gaming was also fairly new then, like in terms of it being popular in that way. There was more attention paid to games that broke through like that. Also, there's a billion games launched every year now, you know. Whereas Doom might have been one of like a few hundred. You know what I mean?
I think that generation's thing was probably open world action adventures. That's the 360 PS3
Yeah.
thing.
So like Oblivion was huge then. Was
Oblivion,
huge.
yeah, and like the Assassin's Creeds and
That's
shit
a really
like
good
that,
point.
GTAs.
Who was the first one to really, really popularize that then?
May have been Oblivion, honestly. Oblivion came out pretty close to launch.
I don't know if anyone would recognize that though as the defining open world game for expanding a world like that though.
I would say it's
Skyrim probably gets more credit.
Skyrim is definitely the most mainstream. Morrowind. I would say Morrowind defined the modern, the modernizing of the Bethesda formula. I'd say because the other games, you know, obviously like the other Elder Scrolls games built up to it. Third one I'd say is like the pivot point. Oblivion is definitely the refining of it, and then Skyrim is in my opinion definitely mainstreaming it. Where they realize like, oh, people are struggling with the like leveling and stuff. Let's make it perks and let's make it easy. So that's a defining moment in that company anyway. But like that's only Bethesda's like kind of journey.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm going to say. COD 4 for the beginning of the console generation. and GTA 5 for the end.
Was 4 the beginning?
Near the beginning.
Was it?
2006 or 7, something like that? Yeah.
3
Wasn't
came
it?
out first on the 360 though.
Yeah.
And 2.
Yeah.
2's on there too. 2 is a launch title on
For
360.
360, yeah. Not for PS3.
Because PS3 was a year later.
Right.
Maybe
just the sheer scale of GTA 5 and how like everyone was playing it, I think, is a defining moment. And it sold like 75 million copies. That's unheard of.
It might honestly be GTA 5 and freaking Red Dead 2.
I'd say it's Red Dead 2, like open world action adventure moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's kinda-
definitely.
it's setting the bar now.
Well, there you have it. You tell us. Comments.
What comments?
YouTube.
Sounding off in the comment section.
Yeah. And send us an email.
Smash that like button.
Smash it.
Mail me physically.
That's how Marty watches Netflix still. The DVDs.
I recently was just on my Wii watching Netflix.
Oh my,
and,
Marty.
And your cereal boxes. You get little demo discs and stuff.
Oh man.
There's our defining moment.
Yeah.
Fucking games and cereal boxes. Jesus.
All right. Yeah, we're on the YouTube, and me and Matt Twitch stream when I'm not sliding off the road on Wednesdays, usually around 8.
Not sliding off the roads and having literally the lowest quality phone call
Oh,
I've
yeah.
ever had a cell phone. I was talking to this man, and he tells me he's like, oh, road. I'm like, what? And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, turn around. What? And so we hang up, come back. I hear him clearly for like maybe 10 seconds. And then I'm like, all right. And then so I get the message that he had to turn around because it was an ice storm. Fair enough. I'm like, all right. No answer. No answer. I'm like, no worries. No answer. No answer. I'm like, that's okay, man. No answer. No answer. And then click. I'm like, what the fuck was that? Like, what the fuck was that?
It was the ice getting in the way of my
Your signals?
my signals. Yeah.
Sucks. Cell phone technology sucks. And we're about to play games on it, Marty.
Well, I'm not.
Are you talking about like 5G?
I'm talking about the Xbox Live.
talking about 6G.
Oh no, but 5G is very interesting.
I mean, it's just gonna be fast.
No, but they're talking about not even having fiber anymore, and just having a 5G hub in your house.
Oh yeah, I recommend that. That sounds really good. I can see that working real good.
Well, 5G is supposed to be more stable and better for like mass amounts of people.
To be fair, my cynicism is from an era of hooking things up with copper. I'm already an old man. The fact that the instant you say wireless, I'm like, what? One of those satellite things? Fuck that.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.